Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. NVIDIA is slightly up today, but the major event today is AMD earnings report. We'll discuss the numbers in this video and also we'll take a look how this can impact NVIDIA stock price for tomorrow. We'll also discuss in this video what are the different events this week that can positively or negatively impact Nvidia stock price. I will provide my assessment for Nvidia stock price movement for this week in this video. Now, let's get started. Starting with the daily summary, Nvidia opened at 140.28. It made a high 142.26. It made a low 138.90 and it closed at 141.25. That is 0.52% up. And you can notice that sometime in the afternoon, Nvidia was trading around 142.4 and that was about 2% up. But after some time, it went down in the afternoon. And one important event happened in this afternoon is AMD earnings report. Let's take a look what they reported. So regarding the earnings, their projected numbers were 0.92 as you see here, and the actual they reported 0.9224, and that is 0.46% earnings surprise, and that's positive. And if you compare with the historical earnings, the surprise percentage was very low in this quarter. So on average, in the last 6 quarters, if you take a look, the average is about 2.6% earnings surprise. And regarding the revenue, they reported 6.82 versus the expected number 6.71. And that's good. Probably that's about 1.6% revenue surprise. But the only downside in this earnings report at this point that I found out is the revenue guidance for next quarter, that is Q4 calendar quarter. So the new revenue guidance is 7.50 billion versus the market expectation 7.55 billion. So basically their guidance is going down compared with the expectation, and market did not like that, and you see that market is down about 7% on AMD stocks in the after hours session. But the good thing is this did not impact much on Nvidia after hours. So Nvidia after hours is still up. Let's take a look. It's about 0.099%. And let me give you one historical data to relate what happened today. So on this screen, I'm showing you the price history for AMD. Let's take a look what happened in the previous earnings. So they reported the previous earnings on July the 30th after hours. You see here. So next day, AMD went down about 8.26%. Okay, so this was not a surprise to me if AMD went down about 7% after earnings. So similar thing happened in the last quarter as well on the earnings date. And one more thing you can notice that in last 4 days, AMD was up about 8 or 9%, right? You take a look here. So basically in last 4 days, AMD was jumping high with the anticipation that the earnings number would be very good. So if AMD goes down about 7 or 8% tomorrow, that won't be a big deal because AMD will come back again to around 152 or 153 that it used to have 4 days ago. And another thing we can find out what happened to Nvidia in the last quarter after AMD went down just after the earnings. So you see that AMD went down about 8% the following day, the last quarter after earnings. So let's take a look Nvidia stock price on July the 30th and 31st. So you see that on July 30th, Nvidia went up about 12.81%, but the next day, Nvidia went down about 6.67%. So next day is the day just after the AMD earnings report. So if you combine together 30 and 31st, so even if Nvidia went down about 6 or 7%, the overall those 2 days Nvidia is still positive about 6%. So the historical data suggests that yes, the next day after AMD earnings, Nvidia also went down, but I do not think that was the only reason for Nvidia to go down in the last quarter. I guess there was more earnings due on the same day that also impacted Nvidia stock price. So that's the reason why I do not expect Nvidia to go down that big tomorrow. It might do some sideways movement tomorrow as well, but chances of a big drop tomorrow, in my opinion, is low. But I guess the Meta and Microsoft earnings that's due tomorrow will be very critical for Nvidia. So if Meta and Microsoft report depressing number or depressing earnings guidance or revenue guidance also, then it could impact negatively on Meta and Microsoft. And also, I think Nvidia would also get negatively impacted because Meta and Microsoft are direct customer for Nvidia. So you see here, Microsoft and Meta platforms are the major customer for Nvidia. And there was no direct relation between AMD and Nvidia because neither AMD is a customer for Nvidia nor it is a supplier. So there was indirect relationship but not a direct relationship. Now let's take a look forward PE for Nvidia and other AI stocks. Nvidia forward P at this point is at 45.27, not a major change from yesterday. Palantir 132.15, slightly up from yesterday. SMCI 15.46. SMCI had a very good day today. It keeps going up. So that's a good news for me because I have some SMCI shares as well. AMD 43.18 forward PE, but this does not include after hours 7% drop. So I'm going to skip today the quarterly percentage change analysis because not a major change today. Let's move on to the technical charts. You see 180-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia on your screen and also the Fibonacci levels. So based on Fibonacci levels, the 23% retracement based on the short-term Fibonacci levels, as we discussed yesterday, is at 134.33. So at this point, Nvidia is moving sideways from last few days. You see that? So tomorrow, before Microsoft and Meta earnings after hours, Nvidia, in my opinion, should be volatile as well in tomorrow's session. All depends on Meta and Microsoft earnings after hours. In the following day, after tomorrow, Nvidia can go either side. But in my opinion, I'm guessing Meta and Microsoft would report a good positive earnings surprise and the revenue guidance for next quarter as well. And I'm still hopeful that by the end of this week, Nvidia should be able to either touch 144 level or should be able to break 144 level if everything goes well with Meta and Microsoft. Another factor, but that's not too big, is the PC index that's gonna be published on Thursday this week. As you see here in the earnings calendar for this week, PC index and the core PC index. But in last few months, PC index has not impacted NVIDIA stock price much. Now let's take a look MACD chart. So you see that MACD line, that's a blue line, was up in the morning. It was above the zero line, right? But sometime in the afternoon, it started going down. But overall, in my opinion, the momentum is still positive with Nvidia, even if the momentum is not very strong. Now, let's take a look some news and other analysis regarding Nvidia. So, starting with the top one that says Nvidia stock turns higher, why Alphabet AMD earnings will be key. I guess in the beginning video I missed Alphabet earnings. Let's take a look what happened with Alphabet today. So Google or Alphabet also reported the earnings today after hours. So if you take a look this table, so they were able to beat the earnings by 14.74% and also the revenue 2.37%. So that's a big earnings surprise, 14.47. It never happened in last 3 quarters. And that should positively impact Nvidia in tomorrow's session. So if we scroll down further, so most of the news today is talking about the earnings from Google and AMD. So nothing specific to Nvidia at this point. So it says Nvidia stock slips, why Alphabet AMD earnings will be the key. Scrolling further, this one that says Nvidia's executive says AI will soon take human form. The machine is to the body what AI is to the brain. So nothing much regarding Nvidia other than those earnings. Now let's take a look other AI stocks in my watch list. So most of the AI stocks or the tech stocks in my watch list are positive. The highest positive change is in Avago, that is 4.20%, and the highest negative is in SoundHound, that is 1.80% down. And Nvidia kind of lie in the middle. So Nvidia has more room to go further up because in today's session, Nvidia closed about 0.5%. So compared with other AI stocks, you see that Nvidia is lagging. So that's all about my analysis and assessment regarding Nvidia for today and next few days. Probably sometime tonight, if I get time, I will make one video on Meta earnings, my projections for Meta. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching. And also, I uploaded my Excel sheets on my Patreon account. So if you are an exclusive member, you can access those sheets from there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Talk to you more in the next video. Take care.